this for people, and I'm going to share my screen. Which one do I want to do? Let's do this one. All right. Yeah, I hate to tell you that is a COVID cough. I'm on the back side of it. It's no bueno. So excuse me, I've got some water here if I have to stop every once in a while and get some water. Okay, this is our website. This is Canvas. Okay, if you do not know how to get into this, Clovis High, I've sent links, and I know Mrs. Lane has done a good job helping you guys get there. You need to log into Canvas, okay? That's our web system. Don't freak out right now if you're like, whoa, 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 whoa. If you go to SCCCD, which is our site, and then you go into the portal at the top, and you log right into Canvas. It's just the same way you log in for registering for classes. Now, there are announcements. I send articles out probably once or twice a week. They're just extra articles. We're not tested on them. But like this one is, does algebra do more harm than good? Community college rethinking requirement. We're doing a lot more stats. But there's just stuff that deals with education in general. Okay. Are my syllabus, big area. And that's where we're going to go. And modules. Basically, syllabus, first off, we click right here. I have my syllabus and then our timeline set up, ready to go. I use remind.com. You click right here and hopefully it'll open. I'll go right here. If on your cell phones right now, you would go and type in the to area. And you would type in 81010, and then just put the message at Ed10 neighbors and send it. You will get my reminders, which, believe it or not, I remind you what's coming up, what's coming due, but also in that interface, you can communicate with me if you download the app. You can just download the app and put this at Ed10 neighbors, and if you need more questions, if it's a quick questions like Mr. Neighbors, is the quiz due today? You can message me and remind. We can start the process if you need a Zoom session so that we can get on your computer and help you in that mode. But we usually start it out through the remind. And so if you can make sure that you're on right here, just send 10 81010, and then this is the message. Or you can just log into the app and it's all right there. So we scroll down here to my syllabus. And you may print this off once you log in. I'm going to make it big. Not that big, but big. Let me see here. Can you see that? Everybody, somebody shake their head. Good. All right. As we go through here, it talks about my course objectives and descriptions. You can go through there. The preferred method is through the remind message. You can use the Canvas email system, which I'll show you. It's right over here on the side. If you choose to use my email right here, brent.neighbors@cloviscollege.edu, you can. Problem is that gets mixed in with all the other emails I get. I get a ton of emails from the district and you could get lost. Excuse me. So I always like the remind or the Canvas email because that stays out of my work email, which is inundated all the time with messages of to do things or people trying to get me to buy a textbook and I don't want to. Usually, okay, my cell phone, we go right here. This is my cell phone. You can text to it. Okay. Usually 10 to 2. Don't text me at 10 o'clock at night and go, hey, is the quiz due? You probably get a message first off of what are you texting me this late for? But if you are going to text me, please make sure you put your name and the class, because I also teach at the college. I teach some information systems classes and they're online as well. So I might, if you text me, I might not using remind and not replying to a remind message. I'm not saying that. If you just decide to get the phone and text it to me, I might not know who you are, and you might get a message back from me of, who are you? What class are you in? I'm not being rude. There's a lot of people I'm trying to cover at the same time. That's why I always prefer to use the Canvas email or remind, because I'm pretty good at getting back to those. So you can get a hold of me even outside my office hours, Monday through Friday, usually 10 to 2. If for some reason I don't pick up my cell phone or I don't answer you, it's probably I'm on the line with another student or happen to be sitting in a meeting. Okay. I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, and I do return my messages pretty darn quick. You all have the textbooks already. Your school should have provided them for you. Okay. As we go down, tells how to get a hold of me. Remember, you need to communicate to me. I know Mrs. Lane and Clovis High, I'm not sure who's going to be your teacher right now, but don't put them in the middle. Shelley, Mrs. Lane always says, hey, you deal with your teacher, and that happens to be me. I can make the changes, all right? Usually when a teacher calls me, I said, well, why doesn't the student talk to me? Well, they were nervous. Well, I'm going to start the whole process and make you call me anyhow. So if there's some confusion or there's something going on, deal with me with your college class. I'm the one that gives you the grade. The high school teacher will give you the grade for the high school class. I'm the one, the college. Let's talk about this right now. Remember, this is a college class. It's 3 units. If you get halfway into this class, and I get there's a lot going on in your lives right now. Remember, I have a senior in high school that really didn't have a life either. And I have a big heart for the class of 2021. You're just gonna, it's hard, I know. But if you decide to plant the flag and not do anything, there's some bigger problems with that. You do not want to start at a community college on academic probation. So let's say you get halfway through that and you're like, you know what? This is not working for me. I just want to do nothing right now because the situation I'm in or something at home, I'm just stopping. I'm going to take the F. That's the worst thing to do. Call me, talk with me, talk to your counselor, talk to your teacher at school. We can figure something out. The worst thing you can do is just say, I'm stopping, because then I have to give you an F at the end, which I do not want to do. And then you go, okay, that's great. I don't worry about it. And I show up at Clovis Community, Fresno City College, Reedley, and they look at your transcripts and they go, okay, you're in, but you're on academic probation for the first semester. Why? You failed an Ed10 class. Okay. And we'll talk about how difficult how really it's not easy to fail this class. You have to set booby traps up on yourself to not succeed. Okay. I'm giving you a ton of areas to succeed in this. And I'm not a trick teacher. I'm pretty straightforward, and we go from there. Okay, let's go back down here a little bit. How to get hold of me. Again, use the Remind app or the text for a reply to any text I send to you from your phone on from a Remind, and just say, hey, I got a situation. And we can start discussing, and we can say, okay, is it big enough where I can answer it in very little interaction? Like, is the test due tonight? No. Okay, if we keep going back and forth and you're having trouble with other stuff, we can set up a Zoom link share screens. So we can go more interactive if we have to. That's kind of how I bring in. I don't start a Zoom meeting individually with a student unless it's like we can't solve it in like a text or so. And we'll go through there and I'll talk to you about my lectures. Biggie here, and I think this is for all college teachers. If you do not hear from me, let's say you make a message or send me something, you don't hear from me in 24 hours, assume I didn't receive it, okay? I get inundated with a lot of stuff. Don't sit there and wait, go, hey, you know what? 3 weeks ago, I sent you an email about this. If for some reason I don't respond with K, that's all right, sure thing, Give me a call. I probably didn't get it or it got lost in my long messages of mail. Okay. We'll talk here in just a second in the Canvas email systems. I'm available sitting in front of my phone someplace between 3:30 and 4:20 on Mondays, all the way to 4:45 or 3:30 to 4:45 on Tuesdays. On Wednesdays, I'm doing grading and stuff like that. I don't have really set office hours. On Thursdays, 3:30 to 4:45. And then on Fridays, I make it a little earlier, 2:30 to 3:20. Those are the times when you can send me a remind message. You can call my cell phone. I'm available. Okay. I don't sit on Zoom waiting for people to show up because I notice you guys have spent so much time on Zoom in the last year and a half. You really don't want to go Zoom it again. So if for some reason you call during those times from my office hours and we need some more interaction, we need a Zoom set up for you and I can set it up. But a lot of times, 99% of the time in this class, a good phone call solves 99% of the problems. Okay, we go down here. Sorry. This is just my syllabus. Okay, now, you guys have been a part of this pandemic computer thing for a while, and I've always taught this class online. But if you have a computer network problem, you need to get it fixed. I can't solve it. I know the schools give hotspot. It's a good savior for people who don't have a good connection. We have so many kids in this house, either at college taking online classes right now or in a junior high or high school. We had to get 2 hotspots, one from the college and then one from Clovis High. No, from Clark, for my younger one. Take advantage of it. For some reason, if everything's down and there's a test coming, all my tests are usually at 11, due by 11:59 at night. Okay, so don't put it off, but it's due later at night. And for some reason, your network's down, troubleshoot. Come up with plans right now. Do you have an uncle, aunt, or cousin you can go visit? If you walk into, or just go stand outside a Starbucks, walk into a Walmart, go inside to a McDonald's. Don't sit because you can't stay there long. Go sit in the parking lot if you have to. They all provide free Wi-Fi. So if you have to take a quiz and for some reason your computer network's not working at home, get in the car, go sit in front of these places and get her done. Okay. Same with your computer. Figure out some troubleshooting situations. What happens if my computer goes bad for a day? It doesn't start. Does your mom have a computer? Does your aunt have a computer? Boyfriend, girlfriend? Plan all these out just to make sure. Worst case scenario. We're going down. You're responsible for all that stuff. As you get down here, we're going to talk a little bit about our educational philosophy, which comes way later in the semester. Actually, you'll work on it right before you leave for Easter vacation. We'll talk about that in depth in a little bit. There's the guidelines for it. And here breaks down my class. We're going to have these quizzes. Right now you have an orientation syllabus quiz that you can be working on. It's set up in Canvas. We'll go to it in just a second. We'll have it a 10-point quiz over chapter 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay. So there's what we have. There are 10 basic questions, and I don't remember, I give a good chunk of time to do it. It's not like I give you 10 minutes to do 10 questions, but there is somewhat of a time limit. I do drop the lowest quiz score, so that helps a lot of you out there. Reflections, we will do lots of reflections, and that is in Canvas, and we'll show you that. We'll do all these. You have observation hours. Observation hours is 45 hours. You have to have them. I know Clovis East students have been assigned Zoom classrooms to observe and have been observing. Am I correct? Yes. Has Clovis High been doing that as well? Clovis High students, have you been logging on and, sorry, have been logging on and doing any evaluations? Okay. Well, we need to get on those really, really quick. You cannot pass this class unless you complete your 45 hours of observation, flat out. Okay. It's a must. So what you need to do is, I believe there's a sub coming or in, I'm not sure. I haven't communicated with Clovis High lately. They need to set you up with some teachers so that you can evaluate and watch in the classroom. 45 hours, it's a must. We'll talk about what you do with those when you do them in just a second. Here's a suggestion I have for you. I'm not sure what the Clovis High teacher has in store. Sorry, COVID cough. Let me get a drink of water. I would think back to one of your elementary school teachers, if that's what you want to do, or junior high. And if you have a good relationship with them, send them an email and say, can I just sit and observe? I need 45 hours in your classroom. Usually, knowing what's going on, there shouldn't be a problem, but there could be. They could say no, but that's some plans that you have. Hopefully your teachers, if you want to be a high school teacher, you can observe at Clovis High through some of the Zoom. You just log into one of somebody's Zoom classes with them. And that's kind of how we're going to do it to get our 45 hours. Are we waiving those 45 hours because of the pandemic? No. You should be able to get them done doing Zoom at Clovis, especially since you're on the campuses already. Educational philosophy, that we will do later on. You're going to have a peer evaluation. So you'll submit a draft. The classes will be assigned 4 or 5 papers. They will look over them. They will make comments. They will red pen them up using PDFs, and you will get your feedback on how to improve it or how great it was. And then you will turn in your final draft. Okay. Usually a page. It'll probably be the hardest paper you've written. It's 1 page long. If you want to do it single spaced, you may. Do not do it triple and put an 1.5 inch border at the top, so it really only turns out to be a paragraph. This is something that talks about your philosophy and what you want to do in your field, and helps you understand and gain some knowledge about philosophies. You will have a midterm and a final. The midterm will cover chapters 2 and 6, and that's 200 points. And your final will cover chapters 8 through 11, which we've already seen up here. We've already gone through, just covering this stuff. These quizzes will be open so that you can review off them before the midterm and before the final. Okay. Here's your total points. Everything's pre-laid out in Canvas. It's kind of nice. It grades everything. Okay. That is a syllabus. I'm going to go up here and minimize this. There's one big one right below it. It's called the timeline, what we're doing. Okay. I do not have a mandatory login at 10 and listen to my lecture, and that's that. Never had. I've always had all my lectures already posted and done. So if you come here, week 1, this is still under the syllabus, under the timeline. We have all the way till the 20th, because usually everything's due on a Wednesday for me. The reason I do that is because your weekends get so crazy. So we have from Monday all the way till next Wednesday. And what do you have to do? You have to take the syllabus quiz and do the discussion board post number 1. If you don't do it, this says April, it needs to be updated. If you don't do it by January 20th, oh, I'm sorry, this might be correct. This is your hours. Your hours need to be done by, April 21st. Now, if you do not post a syllabus take the quiz or the discussion board, I will have to drop you. Okay. Now we scroll down here. Here's week 2. Starts the 20th of January. Everything's due by the 27th. So we'll have chapter 2. You'll start looking and get your observation hours in. You'll take your quiz. And as we go down, we keep looking what's happening. Okay, chapter 3 tells you what's due, what's coming. Okay, everything is there. So everything in advance is already done. Now, if you don't believe me, you can also go to calendar. Right here's a calendar button. Ed10, everything's there and loaded, ready to go. It tells you what's happening, what's due. There really shouldn't be a lot of confusion because of that calendar button. I'm going to go back into Ed10. So syllabus has a lot of information. If you see here, there's some basic information about me, but modules is where you will live. Okay, click on modules. You see, I have every day already assigned. Matter of fact, I should probably turn off some weeks. But for week 1, here's my lecture. Here's some information for week 1. Talks about everything you need to do, and we get going. You also have to look in week 1. There's our orientation one that we're in right now. First week video. I have all my lectures already done. You click right here, look what happens. Okay. Here's a orientation if you want to watch it this way, but watch. Here's lectures for chapter 2. Takes a second. If this keeps spinning and spinning and spinning and doesn't work for you, what you can always do is hit refresh, but it will work. I'm not sure you're going to hit the sound or not, but here we go. Next. Well, since the oncoming of the internet. Okay, so you hear it all coming. It all talks. And you can move your own pace. It asks you a question. Which of the following, blah, 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 and you answer it. Okay, you go, submit. Try again. Submit. And guess what? It's correct. So when I'm done with this, I just click any button and it moves the next. To play a movie, if the school does, let's see what happens. You can watch some of the lecture stuff I have. Talks about different types of education systems. Okay, next. So my lectures are done. Do you have to sit and watch them all in one shot? No, I hope not, because you're going to, it's quite intense. I break it up throughout the week, you know, a couple slides. This kind of shows you the progression of where we're at. Then it asks you more questions. Hey, I was correct. I just guessed that one too, by the way. I should go up to the casino. School and culture. See, I'm going through this whole one. It's talking, it's going. Okay, there's a video if you want to watch. It's here. It's more about teachers. You need to check out here. It talks about gatekeeper, teachers' roles. It talks about pay scales. It talks about Clovis pay scale, has central links to Selma links of what you're paid. Remember, this class isn't so much about how to teach. It's about the profession of teaching, okay? Most of you have spent a lot of time on one side of the desk. When you become a teacher or even start your teaching process, you have to get to the other side of the desk where you might not have been aware of the pressures that are under teachers, the salaries, the time commitment involved, stuff like that. Okay, so I'm going to go back into modules. And somebody's going to say, where did you find that? Gosh. You scroll down. I'm going down to week 1. If you see right here, my lectures are there. How to forward your email to your personal email account. I like that because a lot of you are like, especially since you're applying to colleges as well, every college makes you get their email. The second it happens, you can do this to all their systems. You can log in and use their system and forward your their email to something that you check all the time. Like it might be a Gmail, it might be a Comcast, it might be something else. Because a lot of colleges will not, they won't send anything to your personal email, but you can forward to it. And that way you don't lose track of deadlines and stuff like that. Pictures, add pictures into your LMS, your learning module systems, how to do your first post, your discussion post. Okay, stuff that we've already covered here. Here's also some more, make sure that you get those chapter lectures. Study guides, chapter 2, you do not need to turn it in. Don't send it to me. It's for you. Observation guidelines. Okay. What is due again this week is your discussion and your syllabus quiz. You can click here. And here's amazing. Watch this. You can watch a video on how to do discussion before you even post. Okay. One thing I do not like about Canvas is that you have to reply it down below it. Sometimes there's a lot of, if this has been, if people have posted to it, there'd be a lot of feeds down here. Just go right below and hit the reply to this. Basically, as I want to know your name, all this information, and I want a hashtag that help you stay focused this week, this semester. Even if it is less Zoom meetings. I mean, I get it. Again, I have a senior. I get where you are right now. You can get to the discussions by going here, going to the week. I will turn off some of these right now. All 15 are loaded. Probably don't need to have all 15 for you because it just takes you forever to scroll down. But you can click on them. Your syllabus quiz is right there. Well, Mr. Neighbor, is there any way to get there besides going to modules? Yes, there is. When you need to take a discussion questions, you come right here. All the discussions will be posted, ready to go. We're working on the intro. What about the quiz, Mr. Neighbors? Right here, there's quiz button. Okay, comes up. Orientation quiz. Here we go. Let's take it. Take the quiz. It's real easy. I've added some extras to it though. Videos to it. I'm just guessing here because you can take this one as many times as you want. I'm just showing you what it looks like inside. There's a thing I added though I want you to see. At the end, you have to take a selfie. I get it when you're doing Zoom. You can't go meet with the teachers like this, but you can stand out in front of the school with yourself and the school sign behind it. That helps me kind of link you to that school. Okay. I had some students go on campus with masks and their teacher took pictures. This probably won't happen for a while right here, so don't think you can get in the classroom. Okay. We use Genius Scan or some type of, at the end, you're going to submit some paperwork. And I like the program called Genius Scan. But here's what I want you to do is I want you to upload a picture selfie of your of you doing something that you find is fun for you. This is a quiz question. So you're going to choose on your computer or take a picture. Somebody did it earlier and they were out getting fast food someplace. And I thought that was kind of cute. I like what is called Genius Scan. If you want to take a picture of something and uploads it as a PDF, you're totally set, ready to go. So all you have to do is find a picture or take a picture on your camera. Let's see. Let's do this then. Upload, and I'm ready to go. You're automatically going to get this question correct. Here's one problem. It has to be a JPEG or a PDF. If you are using an iPhone, great, but it has if you don't change the format, it has what is called an HEIC format, which I cannot see and view. You will get 0 points as we move forward. So make sure it's a JPEG or a PDF. Next. And see, we just keep answering these questions. This is your syllabus quiz. You can take it as much as you want, many times, so you get the perfect score. I'm almost done here. I'm guessing I'm probably going to get an F, but that's okay. And last but not least, come on, here we go. And the quiz, I'll just hit submit. Here we go, submit. Okay, I submitted it. You see that I got 10 points, 20 questions, okay? Incorrect, shows me what I missed, all this other stuff. That was found under quizzes. I'm gonna stop real quick. I'm gonna ask some questions real quick. We're not gonna talk about observation, how to input it yet. I'm going to do that in a second. So if you have questions about how to input your hours, we'll do that in a second. So I'm gonna stop my screen share. I'm gonna ask, anybody have some questions for me? You can turn your mic back on. I think I made them all quiet. No questions? I know I'm not doing that great of a job.
Hey, Brent, this is Shelly. I have a quick question. Before you talk about inputting hours, when you cover that, could you also speak to my students who have already have, you know, about 20 some hours? Mm-hmm. How do you want them to input, you know, from October when they started?
Okay, let's just jump into that right now. I'm going to go back and share my screen. Let me get out of, leave this. Okay, hopefully you see my hours here. What you need to do under modules, your observation hours. See where it says right here, observation hours? You click on this link. And this is done after you have found a teacher and you're ready to rock and roll. It says open the new link. There we go. Yes, that's fine. Teacher here. Now we have to register. You're all new to this, so you have to register. So you come in here. You come down here. Let's just do this for fun. Okay, so help me remember that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, here we go. Submit. Put my email in because that's what I put in there, and I put 7 ones because that's my ID card number. And I log in. Now, you need to put your information about your teacher in here. Okay. And you also have to update your school information. So by clicking on it, you can update your teacher information. Let's go back. Your account information if you wanted to. So this is going to be your school, what grade level, how I can contact them to make sure you're doing what you're doing. It's all for the legal process. Now, I'm going to delete some of these hours. Delete. And I'm going to delete some more. Okay. We need 45 hours of observation. And this, after you get this all done, it's going to come and say, okay, somebody did some evaluations on the 15th of 2000 because they started early, which was like really smart. Okay. How many hours did you work or observe? Always round up. So if you're in there for 3.5, guess what? It's 4. What did you do? Real quick, 400 characters are left. What did you do? Okay. And what did the teacher do? What were some of the effects that the teacher had on the student? I get it. It's going to be hard because of it's on Zoom. It's funny, as I walk down my hallway at my house, I've got a 7th grade student and a high school student, and I can hear the teachers, and they all have different techniques for getting students' attention. So I think it's going to be real valuable for you to see what they're doing, to make sure they're paying attention, to make sure they're engaged, okay? And you hit submit, and you have your hours. When this says 45, once this says 45, you are able to print off your paperwork. You're finished. So what you need now is to click to print off your paperwork, and it walks you through step by step on how to do it. Okay. So this one looks like this. You can print it out. What you do need to have is your signature of your observation teacher. This is a PDF. So all you do is email it to them. They can sign it, send it back to you, and then we will upload, and I will work with you uploading that in Canvas. Now, I'm not going to overwhelm you right now because that's a whole different process. But what we can be doing right now, what we can be doing is adding our hours. And Brent, where did you, Mr. Neighbors, where did you find that at? On the class website in Canvas. It says observation hours. Clicked on it, went to the link, and I started adding hours. Okay. Let's see. Now, did that help? Shelley, did that help you? Okay, so Clovis East students, you can go all the way back and start putting dates in there. I see here on the chat here on the side that Mrs. Vincent Walker will speak to Clovis High students tomorrow during their class, okay, with some options for doing some evaluations. Let me go back in here and see what else we have in here. Really, that is the big part. What I would be working on is get your Remind signed up. Hopefully you've already done that. Get your quiz for this week done. It's basically a syllabus quiz. How many times can you take it? As many times you want. Okay, get the grade you want. Get your discussion question done. Then what do I do, Mr. Neighbors? Well, go to modules. You got all that done. If you want to get ahead, there's a class side of this, and then there's the observation side. Next week, week 2, here's what's going to be. Here's what's happening. You'll have a chapter 2 quiz, and we'll do some Remind. I give you an extra credit Remind quiz. What I do is I send through Remind the password to a 1-question quiz. And people always text me, they go, Mr. Neighbors, I can't log into the Remind quiz for extra credit. Well, you have to wait until Remind actually sends it. Okay, so that's another incentive for you to do it. But you can start watching the lecture video on chapter 2 and also reading through your book. And when is that due? That's due on the 27th of January by 11:59. Mr. Neighbors, where is the lecture? Right here. Click on it. Okay, we continue in there, and they're all listed right here. Every lecture that I'm going to have. All right. Remember, you click the blue button, you wait, it spins right here. It's okay. Boom. If it keeps spinning, it means you're having a network problem. And what I would do is I'd hit F5 on your keyboard of your computer and have it refresh. Okay. What questions? You guys can't see me because I wasn't sharing, was I? Oh, oopsie. I was showing you right here. My bad. I apologize. I was showing you right here where to find things. That all lectures, you know, if you go into modules, you can go to chapter 2. This week, what's due? Next week, we're going to have chapter 2. The lectures right here. Everything step by step is broken down under week 2. If you don't know what's happening, you can go, what's really due? Fine, hit calendar. Calendar is going to show you everything in the world. It's going to show you my other classes as well, but let me turn those off so you can't see those other classes. Okay, everything that you need to done is done. Home base for us is the syllabus. timeline, the syllabus, calendar, and modules. Get on to Remind. I will send messages helping you to find things. Okay. I will even send videos sometimes across there. I don't use it to remind your parents. I'm using it to remind you. And usually what that's a clue is, hey, get the quiz done. It's a big deal. Okay, I'm going to end my share here. Questions from people out there. Let's go. Come on now. Don't be so shy. No one? Come on.
I have a question.
Sarah, what can I do for you?
I've been having trouble logging into my Canvas account. I can do it on my phone when I go on Clovis Community and everything. It like lets me get in, and I even tried resetting my password. But every time I try to log in on my computer, it's like not letting me.
It's a bummer because the phone won't show you everything and you're going to miss out on a lot.
Yeah.
How do you go to sccccd.edu and then click on the portal at the top?
Yeah, I've tried going into that, and it's like linked to like my account, but when I try to go on like the actual like
What's it tell you?
the State Center thing, I enter my username and my password, it says that it's wrong. But I resetted it, so I know it's like right because I just
Okay,
did.
you might have to call the college at 325-5200, and I can send it to you again by email.
Okay.
Just go to the website because I can't solve that, but that has to be solved pretty darn quick for you. Okay.
Okay.
Let me look at one thing here. Let me see. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? If you have to, in the meantime, send me a message and send me a message on your phone Canvas, just so I can make sure everything's going good. But if you call 325-5200, 325-5200, somebody there can help you, and you can tell them that, you set it, you changed it on your phone, but it's not doing it on Canvas. And really, to change your password, you have to do it in the email system. I bet you your password never was changed. If you log into your computer and try your old one, I bet you it still exists. But that's me taking a guess. Anybody else? Come on. I'm waiting. We good then? Here's what we can do. If you are good to go, you are already getting into Canvas, you've already explored a little bit, and you're ready to go to take your quiz and your discussion questions, you may start logging off. This was recorded and I'll send it out to everybody if you want to review. If you want to stick around because you don't want to ask questions in front of everybody, I'm going to be here, okay? I appreciate all your time. Thank you, and I'll be here for you. Oh, that's quick. Vanessa, you have a question.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Okay, so for my Clovis community account, it will not let me sign in to like my account to go on Canvas.
At all? You can't even get into the portal at all?
Mm-mm.
You're going to have to, did you change anything ever?
Mm-mm.
Did you get an email with your ID number? And then it's something about your first initial, uppercase, last initial, and then your birth date or something like that. Isn't that the generic password?
I looked in my email and I haven't seen anything. I even searched in there to see because it said if it was my first time logging in since I signed up, it gave me like the subject of the email.
Yeah.
to look up. So I looked it up and it was not in there.
What site are you at? Clovis High or Clovis East?
Close East.
Okay, I think Mrs. Lane can help you a little bit more than I can because they don't allow me to do that stuff.